Welcome to the Connecticut DMV Written Test with real questions and answers from the Connecticut DMV. Before we get started, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you never miss an update and help support the channel. Now let's dive into all the questions and answers you need to study for your Connecticut test.
As you approach the top of a hill, you should A. Speed up slightly. B. Prepare to stop if needed. C. Maintain a steady speed. D. Prepare to stop if needed. You may not know what is on the other side of a hill or just around a curve, even if you have driven the road many times. If a vehicle is stalled just out of sight on the roadway, you must be able to stop. Whenever you come to a hill or curve, adjust your speed so you can stop if necessary. If your vehicle begins to skid, you should A. Ease up on the gas pedal. B. Brake as hard as possible. C. Turn off the ignition. A. Ease up on the gas pedal. If your vehicle begins to skid, release the accelerator or brake pedal to regain vehicle balance. Steer in the direction of the skid to regain control of the vehicle. Stopping distances and the severity of collisions. A. Decrease as a vehicle's speed increases. B. Are not affected by a vehicle's speed. C. Increase as a vehicle's speed increases. C. Increase as a vehicle's speed increases. Excessive vehicle speed can have disastrous effects. As a vehicle's speed increases, the potential impact of a collision also increases, elevating the possibility of serious injury and death. Increase your following distance as your speed increases to ensure that you will be able to stop safely if needed. When you are facing a green light and there are pedestrians in the intersection, A. You must yield the right-of-way to pedestrians. B. You have the right-of-way over pedestrians. C. Pedestrians must wait for you to cross. A. You must yield the right-of-way to pedestrians. When facing a green light, you must yield to pedestrians and vehicles already in the intersection. Drivers must yield to pedestrians when turning on a steady green signal. You want to turn left at an upcoming corner. Yield the right-of-way to A. Oncoming vehicles also turning left. B. All approaching vehicles. C. Pedestrians on the sidewalk waiting for a walk signal. B. All approaching vehicles. When making a left turn, you must yield to pedestrians, bicyclists, or other vehicles moving on their green light. Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet. If a tire suddenly blows out while you are driving, you should A. Grip the steering wheel firmly, slow down, and exit the traffic lane. B. Pump the brakes rapidly. C. Brake hard and steer toward the right edge of the roadway. A. Grip the steering wheel firmly, slow down, and exit the traffic lane. If you experience a sudden tire blowout, do not panic. Grasp the steering wheel firmly and take your foot off the accelerator to allow the vehicle to roll to a stop. Lightly apply the brakes when it is safe to do so. Do not move to the shoulder of the road until the car has slowed considerably. When may you legally drive around or under a railroad crossing gate? A. Never. B. When you can see clearly in both directions. C. When the warning lights are not flashing. A. Never. Do not go around or under any lowered gate at a railroad crossing. Once the gate is raised, do not proceed across the tracks until you can see clearly in both directions and are sure there are no trains coming. If you come to an intersection controlled by a flashing yellow light, you must A. Wait for the green light before proceeding. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. C. Stop before crossing the intersection. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. A flashing yellow traffic light means drivers must slow down, be more aware, and proceed with caution. Be alert to crossing traffic and pedestrians. If you approach a stopped school bus that has its lights flashing and signal arm extended, you should A. Stop. B. Proceed at 15 miles per hour if no children are present. C. Proceed at normal speed but watch for children. A. Stop. If you approach a stopped school bus that has its lights flashing and arm extended, you must come to a full stop and remain stopped until the signal arm is pulled back and the bus resumes motion. This law applies whether you are traveling in the same direction as the bus or if you are approaching from the opposite side of the street. To be able to turn quickly, your hands must be A. on opposite sides of the steering wheel, B. next to each other on the top of the steering wheel, C. on the top and bottom of the steering wheel, A. on opposite sides of the steering wheel. Both hands should be placed on opposite sides of the steering wheel. This position is comfortable and promotes safe turning on high-speed roadways. This road sign means A. road widens ahead, B. lane reduction, the right lane ends soon and traffic should merge left, C. highway entrance ramp ahead, B. lane reduction, the right lane ends soon and traffic should merge left. A warning sign is usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that the number of lanes ahead is reduced and that traffic will need to merge to the left. To pass on a two-lane road, you should A. sound your horn as you pass, B. flash your headlights as you pass, C. judge the distance to any oncoming vehicles, C. judge the distance to any oncoming vehicles. It can be hard to judge the speed of oncoming vehicles. They do not always seem to be coming as fast as they really are. Always be sure you can safely change lanes when passing on a two-lane street. If you are not sure of an oncoming vehicle's speed, wait to pass until the oncoming vehicle has passed and you are sure there is enough space for you to change lanes safely. This sign shows one type of A. right turn, B. intersection, C. lane change, B. intersection. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that your current road ends at an intersection straight ahead. Slow down and prepare to yield or stop before turning right or left. When changing lanes, you should never A. look over your shoulder to check your blind spot, B. change lanes abruptly or spontaneously, C. check for other vehicles moving into the same lane, B. change lanes abruptly or spontaneously. When changing lanes, you must be sure that there are no vehicles in the space you want to enter. Check for other vehicles behind and to the side of your vehicle by checking your mirrors and blind spots. Always use the proper turn signal before changing lanes to allow surrounding vehicles time to react to your movements. A large truck is ahead of you and is turning right onto a street with two lanes in each direction. The truck, A, may complete its turn in either of the two lanes. B, may have to swing wide to complete the right turn. C, must stay in the right lane at all times while turning. B, may have to swing wide to complete the right turn. When a vehicle makes a turn, the rear wheels follow a shorter path than the front wheels. The longer the vehicle, the bigger the difference between the paths of the front and rear wheels. Therefore, long trucks often have to swing wide to complete a right turn. You can help keep the driver behind you a safe distance away from your vehicle by A. driving 10 miles per hour faster than the car behind you. B. driving 10 miles per hour slower than the car behind you. C. maintaining a steady speed. C. maintaining a steady speed. It is not always easy to maintain a safe distance behind your vehicle. However, you can help keep the driver behind you a safe distance away from your vehicle by maintaining a steady speed and signaling turns, lane changes, and deceleration in advance. When driving in fog, it is best to drive with A. high beam headlights, B. low beam headlights, C. four-way flashers, D. low beam headlights. Use low beam headlights when driving in fog, rain, or snow. High beams may reflect off of the weather and make visibility even poorer. When driving on a slippery surface, such as snow or ice, A. shift to a low gear before going down steep hills. B. maintain traction by following other vehicles closely. C. pump your brakes to keep them from freezing. A. shift to a low gear before going down steep hills. To prevent skidding on slippery surfaces, you should shift to a low gear before going down a steep hill. You should also follow farther behind the vehicle in front of you than you normally would. Quick stops should be avoided. Unless you have anti-lock brakes, pump the brakes to slow or stop. The driver ahead of you stops at a crosswalk. What should you do? A. Cautiously pass the vehicle at 10 miles per hour or slower. B. Stop, proceeding only when all the pedestrians have crossed. C. Change lanes, look carefully, and pass the stopped vehicle. B. Stop, proceeding only when all the pedestrians have crossed. You must not pass a vehicle that is stopped at a crosswalk. There may be pedestrians crossing the street that you cannot see. Instead, stop, proceeding only after all pedestrians have crossed. Roads are slippery after it first starts to rain. When the road is slippery, you should A. Avoid making turns and stops while driving at high speeds. B. Test your tires' traction while going uphill. C. Decrease the distance you look ahead of your vehicle. A. Avoid making turns and stops while driving at high speeds. A wet, slippery road does not allow your tires the traction they need, so it is necessary to drive more slowly on a wet road than you would on a dry road. To reduce the risk of skidding, you should avoid fast turns or stops. Make room for cars that are entering the freeway by A. Slowing down. B. Merging into a different lane. C. Maintaining your speed and position. B. Merging into a different lane. Make room for vehicles that are entering a freeway. If possible, merge into the next lane to create a gap for the incoming vehicles. If you cannot merge, adjust your speed to allow for the vehicles to enter traffic as smoothly and safely as possible. A driver should A. Stare directly in front of their car. B. Only focus on the middle of the road. C. Watch beside, ahead, and to the rear of their car. C. Watch beside, ahead, and to the rear of their car. A driver should watch beside, ahead, and to the rear of their car. To be a good driver, you must know what is happening all around your vehicle. You may not park within how many feet of a stop sign? A. 30 feet. B. 25 feet. C. 15 feet. B. 25 feet. There are many areas where you cannot park. Do not park within 25 feet of a stop sign at any time. If you are about to be hit from the rear, you should consider each of the following, except for A. Applying your brakes. B. Letting go of the steering wheel. C. Pressing your head firmly against the head restraint. B. Letting go of the steering wheel. If your vehicle is hit from the rear while you are in forward motion, your body will be thrown backward. Press yourself against the back of your seat and put your head against the head restraint to prevent whiplash. Maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel and be ready to apply your brakes to avoid being pushed into another vehicle. When a pedestrian, guided by a dog or carrying a white cane, is crossing the street, A. You must always yield the right-of-way. B. You must tell them where to cross the street. C. You only have to yield the right-of-way if you are at a corner. A. You must always yield the right-of-way. Blind or partially blind pedestrians may carry a white cane or use the assistance of a guide dog. You must always yield the right-of-way to a pedestrian who is using a guide dog or carrying a white cane.